Chapter 6 Anatomy of Flowering Plants. You can very easily see the structural similarities and variation in the external morphology of the larger living organism, both plants and animals. Similarly, if we want to study the internal structure, one also finds several similarities as well as difference. This chapter introduces you to the internal structure and functional organization of higher plants. Study of internal structure of plant is called anatomy. Plant have cell as the basic unit. Cell are organized into tissue, and in turn the tissue are organized into organ. Different organ in plant show difference in their internal structure. Within angiosperm, the monocot and the dicot are also seen to be anatomically different. एंजियोस्पर्म के अंदर जो तुम्हारा मोनोकॉट और डाइकॉट जो प्लांट होता है उसका जो एनाटॉमी डिफरेंट है. इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर ऑल्सो शो एडेप्टेशन टू डाइवर्स इन्वायरमेंट्स. द टिश्यू सिस्टम. We are discussing type of tissue based on the type of cell present. Let us now consider how tissue vary depending on their location in the plant body. Their structure and function would also be dependent on location. On the basis of their structure and location, there are three types of tissue system. These are the epidermal tissue system, ground or fundamental tissue system, and the vascular or conducting tissue system. There are three types of tissue. These are the epidermal tissue system, ground and fundamental tissue system, and the vascular and conducting tissue system. तीन टाइप के टिश्यू है, टिश्यू सिस्टम है. तो सबसे पहले हम लोग देखते हैं एपिडर्मल टिश्यू सिस्टम. The epidermal tissue system form the outermost covering of the whole plant body and comprises epidermal cell, stomata, and the epidermal appendages, the trichome and hair. Trichomes and hairs. The epidermis is the outermost layer of the primary plant body. It is made up of elongated, compactly arranged cell which form a continuous layer. Epidermis is usually a single layer. Epidermal cells are parenchymatous with a small amount of cytoplasm lining the cell wall and a large vacuole. The outside of the epidermis is often covered with a waxy thick layer called the cuticle, which prevent the loss of water. Cuticle is absent in roots. मतलब क्यूटिकल कहाँ होता है? खाली स्टेम में होता है, रूट्स के अंदर एब्सेंट होता है. Stomata are structure present in the epidermis of leaves. Stomata regulate the process of transpiration and gases exchange. Each stomata is composed of two bean-shaped cells known as guard cell, which enclose stomatal pore. In grasses, the guard cell are dumbbell shape. ग्रास जो गार्ड सेल है वो नॉर्मल प्लांट के अंदर जो है ना बीन शेप का होता है, किडनी शेप का होता है. बट अगर हम ग्रासेस के अंदर देखेंगे तो वो डम्बल शेप का है. कौन? तुम्हारा गार्ड सेल. द आउटर वॉल ऑफ गार्ड सेल अवे फ्रॉम द स्टोमेटल पोर आर थीन. जो आउटर वॉल ऑफ गार्ड सेल जो आउटर वॉल में है अवे फ्रॉम द स्टोमेटल पोर से जो दूर है वो क्या होगा? थीन है. And the inner wall toward the stomatal pore are highly thickened. The guard cell possess chloroplast and regulate the opening and closing of stomata. Sometimes a few epidermal cell in the vicinity of guard cell become specialized in their shape and size are known as subsidiary cell. The stomatal aperture, guard cell, and the surrounding subsidiary cell are together called stomatal aperture. The stomatal aperture, guard cell, and the surrounding subsidiary cell. Stomatal aperture, guard cell, surrounding subsidiary cell are together called stomatal apparatus. The cell of epidermis bear a number of hair. The root hair are unicellular elongation of the epidermal cell and help absorb water and mineral from the soil. On the stem, the epidermal hair are called trichome. The trichome in the shoot system are usually multicellular. जो trichome जो shoot system के अंदर होता है, shoot के अंदर वो multicellular. They may be branch or unbranched and soft or stiff. They may even be secretory. The trichomes help in preventing water loss due to transpiration. ट्राइकोम क्या करता है, वाटर लॉस को बचाता है, प्रिवेंट करता है ड्यू टू ट्रांसपिरेशन की वजह से। द ट्राइकोम हेल्प इन प्रिवेंटिंग वाटर लॉस ड्यू टू ट्रांसपिरेशन। द ग्राउंड टिश्यू सिस्टम, all tissue except epidermis and vascular bundle constitute the ground tissue. All tissue except epidermis and vascular bundle, एपिडर्मिस एंड वैस्कुलर बंडल को छोड़ के सारे टिश्यू क्या बनाता है, ग्राउंड टिश्यू बनाता है। इट कॉन्सिस्ट ऑफ सिंपल टिश्यू सच एज पैरेन्काइमा, कोलेनकाइमा, स्क्लेरेन्काइमा। मतलब एपिडर्मिस वैस्कुलर बंडल को छोड़ के जितने भी टिश्यू है वो ग्राउंड टिश्यू बनाता है, जैसे पैरेन्काइमा, कोलेनकाइमा, स्क्लेरेन्काइमा। पैरेन्काइमाटा सेल आर यूजुअली प्रेजेंट इन कॉर्टेक्स, पेरिसाइकिल, पीथ, मेडुलरी रेस इन द प्राइमरी स्टेम एंड रूट्स। Parenchyma cell are usually present in cortex, pericycle, pith and medullary race in the primary stem and roots। जो पैरेनकाइमा सेल है वो कहाँ पर प्रेजेंट होता है, कॉर्टेक्स में, पेरिसाइकिल में, पीथ में, मेडुलरी रेस में एंड प्राइमरी स्टेम एंड रूट्स में। In leaves, the ground tissue consists of thin wall chloroplast containing cell and it is called mesophyll। The vascular tissue system, the vascular system consists of complex tissue, the phloem and the xylem। The xylem and phloem together constitute vascular bundles। In dicotyledons, stem cambium is present between phloem and xylem, such vascular bundle because of the presence of cambium possesses the ability to form secondary xylem and phloem tissue and hence are called open vascular bundle। In the monocotyledon, vascular bundle has no cambium present in them, hence since they do not form secondary tissue they are referred to as closed। When xylem and phloem within a vascular bundle are arranged in an alternate manner along with a different radii, the arrangement is called radial, such as root। In conjoined type of vascular bundle, xylem and phloem are jointly situated along the same radius of vascular bundle। In conjoined type of vascular bundles, the xylem and phloem are jointly situated along the same radius of vascular bundle। Such vascular bundle are common in stem and leaves। मतलब conjoined type की जो vascular bundle है वो common है किसके अंदर, stem and leaves के अंदर। The conjoined vascular bundle usually have the phloem located only on the outer side of the xylem। यानी conjoined type of vascular bundle कहाँ रहता है तुम्हारा, हमेशा जो है ना, जो फ्लोएम जो है ना हमेशा बाहर की तरफ होता है और जो जाइलम जो है ना वो अंदर की तरफ होता है। किसमें, कॉन्जॉइंट टाइप ऑफ इसके अंदर। रेडियल के अंदर जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम अल्टरनेट मैनर के अंदर होता, कॉन्जॉइंट क्लोज के अंदर कैम्बियम नहीं होता है और कॉन्जॉइंट ओपन के अंदर जो है ना कैम्बियम होता है। ठीक है, जिसके पास कैम्बियम होगा वही जो है ना सेकेंडरी ग्रोथ के लिए हेल्प करता है। Anatomy of dicotyledons and monocotyledons plant। For a better understanding of tissue organization of root, stem, leaves, it is convenient to study the transverse section of the mature zone of this organ, dicotyledons roots। Look at figure 6.3. It shows the transverse section of the sunflower root। The internal tissue organization is as follow। The outermost layer is epiblema। डाइकोटिलेडन प्लांट के अंदर जो आउटर मोस्ट लेयर होता है उसको क्या कहा जाता है, एपीब्लामा। मैनी ऑफ द सेल ऑफ एपीब्लामा प्रोट्रूड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ यूनिसेलुलर रूट हेयर। द कॉर्टेक्स कंसिस्ट ऑफ सेवरल लेयर ऑफ thin wall parenchymatous cell with intercellular space। The innermost layer of the cortex is called endodermis। जो innermost layer of the cortex is called endodermis। It comprises a single layer of barrel-shaped cell without any intercellular space। The tangential as well as radial wall of the endodermal cell have a deposition of water impermeable waxy material suberin in the form of Casparian strips। Next to endodermis lies a few layer of thick wall parenchymatous cell referred to as pericycle। Next to endodermis lies a few layer of thick wall parenchymatous cell referred to as pericycle। Initiation of lateral roots and vascular cambium during the secondary growth take place in these cells। The pith is small or inconspicuous। The parenchymatous cell which lie between the xylem and the phloem are called conjunctive tissue। There are usually 2 to 4 xylem and phloem patches। Later a cambium ring develop between xylem and phloem. All tissue on the inner side of the endodermis such as pericycle, vascular bundle, pith constitute the stele. स्टिली किसको बोलेंगे? देखो, ऑल टिश्यू ऑन द इनर साइड ऑफ द इंडोडर्मिस. इंडोडर्मिस के अंदर जितने भी टिश्यू है जैसे पेरिसाइकिल, वैस्कुलर बंडल, पीथ, वो तीनों को मिला के पेरिसाइकिल, वैस्कुलर बंडल, पीथ, पेरिसाइकिल, वैस्कुलर बंडल, पीथ, तीनों को मिला के हम क्या बोलेंगे? स्टेली. मोनोकॉटिलेडनस रूट. मोनोकॉटिलेडनस रूट. द एनाटॉमी ऑफ मोनोकॉट रूट. The anatomy of monocot root is similar to the dicot root in many respects. It has epidermis, cortex, endodermis, pericycle, vascular bundle and pith. As compared to the dicot root which have a fewer xylem bundle, there are usually more than 6 पॉलीआर्क जाइलम बंडल इन द मोनोकॉट रूट. मोनोकॉट रूट के अंदर जो है ना पॉलीआर्क मतलब 6 से ज़्यादा जाइलम बंडल है. Pith is large and well developed. Monocotyledonous root do not undergo any secondary growth. जो मोनोकॉट रूट होता है उसके अंदर सेकेंडरी ग्रोथ नहीं होता है. डाइकोटिलेडनस स्टेम. अब हम डाइकोट स्टेम के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. डाइकोटिलेडनस स्टेम. The transverse section of a typical young dicotyledonous stem show the epidermis is the outermost protective layer of the stem, covered with a thin layer of cuticle. It may bear trichome and few stomata. Covered with a thin layer of cuticle, it may bear trichome and a few stomata. The cell arranged in multiple layers between epidermis and pericycle constitute the cortex. बहुत सारे सेल मल्टीपल लेयर में प्रेजेंट है एपिडर्मिस एंड कॉर्टेक्स के बीच में. It consists of 3 subzone. The outer hypodermis consists of a few layer of collenchymatous cell just below the epidermis. The outer hypodermis consists of a few layer of collenchymatous cell just below the epidermis, which provide mechanical strength to the young stem. मतलब collenchymatous cell जो तुम्हारा एपिडर्मिस से नीचे है थोड़ा सा, ठीक है, एपिडर्मिस के नीचे जो है ना वो क्या है? हाइपोडर्मिस है. वो क्या प्रोवाइड करता है? मैकेनिकल स्ट्रेंथ टू द यंग स्टेम. जो यंग स्टेम होता है उसको मैकेनिकल स्ट्रेंथ प्रोवाइड करता है. कॉर्टिकल लेयर बिलो हाइपोडर्मिस कंसिस्ट ऑफ राउंडेड थिन वॉल पैरेन्काइमेटस सेल विथ कॉन्स्पिशियस इंटरसेलुलर स्पेस. द इनर मोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द कॉर्टेक्स इज कॉल्ड इंडोडर्मिस. द सेल ऑफ द इंडोडर्मिस आर रिच इन स्टार्च ग्रेन एंड द लेयर इज ऑल्सो रेफर्ड टू एज स्टार्च शीथ पेरिसाइकिल. स्टार्च शीथ Pericycle present on the inner side of the endodermis and above phloem in the form of semilunar patches. Sclerenchyma in between the vascular bundle. There are few layer of radially placed parenchymatous cell which constitute medullary rays. A large number of vascular bundle are arranged in a ring. The ring arranged of vascular bundle is a characteristic of dicot stem. Ring arrangement of vascular bundle is a characteristic of dicot stem. Each vascular bundle is conjoined open and with indirect protoxylem. A large number of rounded parenchymatous cell with a large intercellular space which occupy the central portion of the stem constitute the pith. Monocotyledonous stem. The monocot stem has sclerenchymatous hypodermis, a large number of scattered vascular bundle, each surrounded by sclerenchymatous bundle sheath and a large conspicuous parenchymatous ground tissue. Vascular bundle are conjoined and closed. Peripheral vascular bundle are generally smaller than centrally located one. The phloem parenchyma is absent and water containing cavities are present within the vascular bundle. Dorsiventral dicotyledonous leaf. The vertical section of a dorsiventral leaf through the lamina show 3 main parts, namely epidermis, mesophyll and vascular system. The epidermis, which cover both the upper surface adaxial epidermis and lower surface abaxial epidermis of the leaf, has a conspicuous cuticle. The abaxial epidermis generally bear more stomata than adaxial epidermis. The latter may even lack stomata. The tissue between the upper and lower epidermis is called the mesophyll, which possesses chloroplast and carry out photosynthesis, is made up of parenchyma. It has 2 types of cell, the palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Pellucid parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. The adaxially placed pellucid parenchyma is made up of adaxially placed हो गया pellucid parenchyma made up of elongated cell which are arranged vertically and parallel to each other. The oval, round and loosely arranged spongy parenchyma is situated below the pellucid cell and extend the lower epidermis. There are numerous large space and air cavities between these cells. Vascular system include vascular bundle which can be seen in the vein and the midrib. The size of the vascular bundle are dependent on the size of the veins. The veins vary in thickness in the reticulate venation of the dicot leaves. The vascular bundle are surrounded by a layer of thick wall bundle sheath cell. Look at the figure 6.5 and find the position of xylem in the vascular bundle. Isobilateral monocotyledonous leaf. The anatomy of isobilateral leaf is similar to that of the dorsiventral leaf in many ways. It shows the following characteristic difference in an isobilateral leaf. The stomata are present on both the surface of the epidermis and the mesophyll is not differentiated into pellucid and spongy parenchyma. In Geraceae, certain adaxial epidermis along cells along the veins modify themselves into large empty colorless cells. These are called bulliform cells. When the bulliform cell in the leaves have absorbed water and are turgid, the leaf surface is exposed. When they are flaccid due to water stress, they make the leaves curl inward to minimize water loss. When they are flaccid due to water stress, they make the leaves curl inward to minimize water loss. The parallel venation in monocot leaves is reflected in the near similar size of vascular bundle except in main veins as seen in vertical section of the leaves.